Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Lacee Rains is here.
Hi.
We only have one headset, so only I can hear the applause, but the crowd's going wild, Lacee.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hold on. Another round of applause.
Wow.
An encore. These people love you.
Man, thanks for having me here.
This is great. This is big.
Yeah.
Our podcast has gotten so big that Lacee's friend Claire today said she didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
I think I appreciate that, Claire. That's motivation.
That speaks volumes.
I'm Cody Troutman, and this is my podcast, the Cody Trout Pod.
Claire is in the studio today providing warm feminine energy
Yes.
that I think we both need.
And moral support.
I love what you're wearing. For the audio-only listeners, which there is almost a dozen of.
Thank you. Wow, okay.
For the audio-only listeners, Lacee is wearing a Buc-ee's. Is he a gopher or a beaver?
He's a beaver.
He's a beaver.
Yeah.
The alliteration makes sense.
Yes, Bucky the beaver.
May I say, incredibly
Thank you.
fetching. You wear it well.
Thank you.
Are the shoes, did they come with it, or did you pair these shoes with them?
No, these shoes, I actually got these for my special face on. I wore these for the filming of that.
Oh my
but now they're my
gosh.
go-to when I'm wearing the Bucky onesie.
Yeah, the
Just
Buc-ee.
give it a little flair.
It is really nice.
Thanks.
I don't know. Listen, whatever your first date outfit is, fire it. It's now this.
This is it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this is my go-to.
No changes
Yeah.
needed. Yeah, the red sparkly shoes really sell it. Listen, if you're audio only, we appreciate your support, but you are an idiot.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to check out the visuals. Lacee is one of the most interesting people I know. She's a Tulsa comic, and I know Lacee. I would consider us pretty good friends.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm overstepping there. We met this morning.
Yeah,
I think that,
we've talked.
but there, you have so many elements of you that are fascinating.
Thanks.
That I don't want to waste any time. I want to get right into it. One of your, was it an alter ego? Is that what you, or just part of you?
Just, an alter ego, I'd say.
One of Lacee's alter egos is someone named Buttersl the Clown.
Yes.
I find this individual fascinating.
Yeah.
I would love to know any place you want to start. How did the origin of clowning begin for you? How did you decide on Buttersl? What does she mean to you? I just want to listen. You tell me.
So to really understand Buttersl, we gotta. It was 2015. I had come home from Franciscan University of Steubenville in Ohio because I was dead set on being a nun, and that did not work out. So I came home back to Tulsa, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I had gotten it into my head that like clown college was going to save me.
Wow.
But I was dating this very Catholic guy at the time. We were like LARPing was our main activity that we did together, like live action role playing.
Yeah. Like medieval
yes,
type?
Yeah. So we played this game called Dagger here. It's like a foam based fighting game. So
we're 2 minutes into this conversation. You might be the most interesting person I've ever met. Continue. Sorry, I'm all in.
We were foam fighting all the time, and it's like really close to clowning. Like there was like a lot of stuff in it that I liked. But I applied to clown college in Dallas, and we got in a huge fight about it. And basically, it was like I was given the ultimatum, like I can go become Buttersl the clown, or we can continue to be together. So I decided not to go to clown college, which was a huge mistake. But I really wanted to be Buttersl to some degree. So she kind of stayed alive. I did online clown college
That's
for
cool.
a semester. It was embarrassing. And then we finally did break up. And it was like a really big point of contention was like he was embarrassed I wanted to be a clown and that I was like really looking. And it was like my first really kind of like glimpse into like, I'm going to be a performer one day. But like I really wanted to be a clown. I thought it was going to save me.
So to clarify, he's like in a field with a foam sword, and he's like, "Listen, you can't be a clown."
That's embarrassing, babe. Oh my god, yeah. No,
for the
pretty
record,
much.
I think both are cool.
Yeah.
But for someone who participates in one to shit on the other, I don't understand.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're like the same thing.
Yeah.
Hater.
So, how did Buttersl that specific idea? Did you always have that?
Yes.
Or did it wow.
So Buttersl I've always wanted to kind
You're
of be,
visionary.
and Buttersl really started with Lady Butterfingers, which was this like D&D character I used to play,
my
who
gosh.
was a bard, and she was married to this guy named Odd Lord Yankovic.
That's so good.
It was like the other D&D character I play by myself because I have friends. So I had these
incredible.
two people, this like little clown, and then like Odd Lord Mandolin, who was like very based on Weird Al. So I had Lady Butterfingers, who was just this like very sheltered kind of like odd little jester that would run around singing all these horny songs. She didn't know what she was talking about, like was always constantly doing the most. And I don't know, I really liked that a lot. I liked writing that character. I liked playing that game. And then when I started learning more about how to be a clown and like what it entails, you can't actually come up with your own clown name. That's frowned upon.
Really?
You're like given a clown name usually at the end of your education. Like it's like a big deal. Like you get, from another clown is kind of the way it goes.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. There's a lot of technicalities to being a clown. So Buttersl is kind of a bastardization of a clown. Like not a proper clown. I don't want it to mean real clown work that like real professionals are doing. Buttersl is not that, but she is amazing and I love her. But she's Buttersl the sex ed clown.
Sex ed clown. Yeah. Oh my God.
And her final involvement kind of came from like everything, like all the D&D, all the Catholic school, all the nunnery. Like I walked out into the world. I didn't know anything about anything. And I think a sex ed clown would have helped me tremendously.
Wow.
So that's kind of how that started. And then after I'd been doing comedy for a few months, Evan let me try it out. And my dear friend Mac Taylor, Mark Bryan let me be Buttersl on their comedy review. And it was so much fun. So I wrote all these like plays and I had like a sex education class with like the clown. It was great. And I love her so much. Buttersl for life.
I'm not exaggerating. The like Buttersl the sex ed clown. I could see that as like a TV show.
I would love it to be a TV show.
God, that is so funny.
So, but I wanted to be a sex ed professor for a while. So I was trying to earn a scholarship to the Kinsey Institute. So when like the clown college stuff didn't work out, I went to TCC and I studied sociology with like a concentration in human sexuality and was trying to go to the Kinsey Institute in Indiana. That was like my game plan. So all of that stuff just ended up going to like the slutty clown though. All that research and work.
Wow.
So, but that's Buttersl and I love her.
I feel like you've achieved and done more in your life than a lot of people who are dead.
Thanks.
You went to nun school. I didn't even know that. We're going to have to, I'm already scheduling a return visit. There's so much more
Ohio.
to your personality. Oh, this is incredible.
I didn't last long at Catholic college. So,
That's amazing. Yeah. Buttersl the sex ed. Oh my gosh, I want that to be a show so bad.
I would love it to be one day.
It's so like literal sex ed. Like, hey, this is the anatomy. This is how bodies work. Okay.
Yes, this is like sex ed. This is like, this is how the human body works. This is how all of this stuff works. And also just the social norms of sex. That would have helped me tremendously. I think someone should talk to people about that.
That was going to be my follow-up. Would it just be like the scientific part of it? Or would it be like, hey, listen, here's like a beginner's guide to intimacy?
No, exactly. Like I think like Buttersl's kind of like, if I had like really the time and the budget to do what I wanted with Buttersl, it would be kind of this all-encompassing version. I don't know if you know who Gina Ogden is, but she was this amazing woman that studied human sexuality and like what all goes into it. She came up with this thing called the 4D sex wheel that like goes into like what all is encompassed pretty much in human sexuality. I would love to do a perverted clown, bastardized like version of this very like cool, deep, interesting subject, and then just make it like silly and horny and funny. Yeah. And use a lot of glitter.
I think like what you're doing actually makes sense because sometimes, like you said, her name was Gina Ogden.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Sometimes somebody like that, they put out this, it's very academic. It's not very approachable. It's not very marketable.
Right.
But it has a ton of value.
So much.
And so if someone like you, who's intelligent enough to seek it out, understand it, can then be the bridge to people who might actually benefit from it and make it fun and accessible. Right. To me, that's not only funny, but helpful.
Yeah, I think it would be. Cool. Thank you. I'm glad you agree. Yeah.
Every 6 months, I'm going to follow up with you and see, like, hey, listen, are we any closer to Buttersl the sex ed clown?
Yeah, I'd love to get her into Fringe Fest. So that's my plan. I think I would love to come up with like an hour-long act, submit it to Fringe Fest. I think that would be the perfect place to do it.
Oh, that would crush there. What's his name? Are you familiar with James Acaster?
I don't think I am.
He's a comic. I think I first saw him on like a Fringe Fest things, but he did this special at Fringe Fest called, let me get it right, it's Cold lasagna, I hate myself, 1999.
That's amazing.
I was like, what? But and
Cold lasagna, I hate myself, 1999.
Yeah, filmed in 2021. I don't know why the 1999 is there.
That was a big year for him.
I was like, oh, that was when he was born. No, he's
Yeah.
like 41.
Yeah, maybe he was at Woodstock that year. You heard about Woodstock?
Maybe that was the year that he had cold lasagna. But
all right.
But yeah, it's just like a very experimental. I didn't know because that's my only connection to the Fringe Festival.
Damn.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, anytime you go on stage as Lacee Rains, I'm just going to start a chant, we want Buttersluts.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to your show at the Looney Bin tonight.
Buttersluts, where are you?
You're not going to get a single joke out.
Yeah.
Just
Mason,
tackling.
let me come as the clown. People are demanding her.
They are. Gosh. Do you still perform sometimes as Buttersluts the Clown?
Yes, so I mostly, Evan Hughes,
Yeah.
great, fantastic local producer in Tulsa.
Oh, yeah.
I do a lot of his shows. I'll randomly text him when I'm in like the mood to be the clown. I'll be like, hey, I'm coming as Buttersluts tonight, and he'll be like, all right. So, but then also sometimes I'll tell him that, and then I'll be like too tired to like clown up, and I'll be like, man, you'll be lucky if Lacee even shows up. Like, I love doing clown work with him, and then we've had some other really amazing clowns in Tulsa. We have a lot of them.
Wow.
We have a thriving clown community, so we've got more projects. We've got some stuff coming up at Living Arts that I'm excited about. So
Oh my
I can't say much more, but I'm hinting at it very
Wow.
professionally. Keep an eye out.
So cool.
Follow back up. We're going to be doing some clown takeover stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So
Not to besmirch the good name of clowns with my own endeavors, but when I was 14 years old, 13? Somewhere between like 10 and 15, I went to clown camp.
I love that.
I went to like a 2-week clown
Yeah.
camp, and it was the most fun
Yeah.
ever.
It
Learned
really
to juggle,
is.
the face paint.
Yeah. And clowning is just a great like philosophy.
It is really cool, just like embracing the silly.
Yes, embracing the silliness, and they have like such an interesting history because like I mean going back, like they used to be more like kind of akin to like priest almost, like people like there was like a spirituality within like the silliness, and like like the jesters had a role in court, and like it evolved into this like showmanship type like thing, and like circuses, like there's a bunch of different like little offsets, but like at its core, it's like it is this idea that we can find silliness and humor in the most mundane and unfortunate of situations. And it rocks, and we should all take that to heart a little bit more.
Yeah, I did not know that clowning had such a rich history beyond what it is today. Man, that's cool.
God, yeah, you should get deep dive sometime into the history of clowning. It really
If
rocks.
there's any clown documentaries out there,
I'll send some recommendations your way.
thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I need to educate myself.
So, I think I have this book. My doctor found this for me the other day and
Oh my
brought it to me.
gosh.
Isn't it cute? The Clown Arounds. It's like this adorable old story about these clowns that all live together. It's like a whole little clown family.
Oh, that's so cool.
Love it. I love all this old clown stuff though. People used to fuck with clowns more. Now we have like
Yeah.
all these demons, like fucking Pennywise.
Yeah, clowns are kind of vilified
Yeah,
in
they
modern
are.
media. Kids are like, I'm afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Grow
you
up.
should be afraid of a recession.
Right.
That's what you should be
Be
afraid
afraid of the economy.
Yeah. That's really. I've never met a clown that wouldn't pay his taxes. I'll tell you
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm going to deep dive on clowns more.
We interrupt this podcast for a special report. This past weekend was the finals of the Othello's Comedy Classic. It's a month-long competition featuring some of the best comics in the state and even some from out of state. And at the finals, I won. It was really cool. This is my 4th year competing in it. In the past, I've finished 3rd and 2nd. So to win this year was incredibly special. It's a night I will never forget. I had my parents there. My girlfriend was there. It was just really cool. It was really special. And what made it more special is the other competitors are the other comics that I work on the craft with day in and day out. So while we were competing against each other and my name got called that night, it just is a testament to how strong our scene is that it could have been any of us. So I want to give a huge shout out to Adrian Corwin, Othello's, Jennifer Dennis, the owner of Othello's, for putting together an incredible competition year in and year out, and for the weekly mics they have there. It really does a lot for the scene, and we do not take it for granted. My big prize for winning is I get to go to the Loons on the Lake Comedy Festival in Minnesota and the Columbus Comedy Festival, and a little cash prize. And maybe, best of all, the Golden Elephant Trophy, which I will take great care of. I've decided to name him Gumbo because he is golden and reminds me of Dumbo. Just want to say thanks to all the other comics in the scene and everybody who's ever told me I was funny. I'm trying to prove you right. But that's it. That concludes this special report. To continue our deep dive into the mind of Lacee Rains, another thing I find fascinating about you. You've already said enough things that are more fascinating than 10 people combined. We've just scratched the surface. You also have a collection of haunted dolls that you keep in your house and bedroom.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How did that start? Do you feel that you're in danger? Where did the fascination with haunted dolls specifically come from?
Okay, so right behind you on the bookshelf, there's this doll that's in a coffin that says "Living Dead Doll" on the back.
Wow.
So there were these commercialized haunted dolls for sale, only available at Hot Topic, I believe. Maybe Spencer's Gifts too, but I'm pretty sure it was just Hot Topic. I was really into these dolls. I started collecting them in like 5th, 6th grade. And I had this 2-headed baby. It's hanging in my kitchen, actually. It's the other oldest doll that I have in the house, probably, in terms of how long I've owned it. But I was obsessed with these dolls. The collection started to grow. My mom and my grandma and everybody, they bargained with me a lot with the dolls to, like, do stuff. So they kind of like reward chips. I would get them when I was like behaving well and doing well in school and stuff. I can go pick out a doll at Hot Topic.
Yeah. So if you're being a good junior nun.
Yeah. And then it kind of started to like, it was a point of contention, obviously, because like we were a very Catholic household, so it was like if silly and make believe, and that was fine. Mm-hmm. But then I kind of got embarrassed on Tumblr because I saw all these like real haunted dolls that were not packaged, that were like real dolls that people had like found or bought from thrift stores and online and stuff. And I felt silly with my prepackaged like fake as fuck like dolls, and it started to make me feel like embarrassed. So I started going online on eBay, and I bought my first haunted doll on the internet when I was in, I believe, 11th grade. And I have so all the ones in the case over there are locked up. Those are the haunted ones. Oh my god! And then the rest of them are not like certified haunted, but they have some bad. There is one in my bedroom that lives in a cage. The previous owner copper wired her into the cage, so I would have to like wire cut her out to get her out. I do think that's the only doll I have that I think might be haunted for real. A lot of them, it is really just fun to like make believe and get into the story. They all have such fascinating stories too. Some of those dolls are like hundreds of years old.
Oh my god!
And I mean they're from all over the world too. Like I love the dolls. Love the dolls. Also, I have several vintage collector. I have a Debutante doll, a vintage edition one of the collector ball ones.
Is that a pretty big name brand within the
Yeah, I love all my dolls equally though, but I have some really cool ones.
That's so cool. You said some of them have interesting Can you share one of the stories of one of the dolls?
One of the dolls I purchased online is JFK reincarnated, and you'll never guess which one.
Oh my god!
We'll have to go over there at some point. But so one of them is though. I love him. So there's another doll. I don't know if you can see her, but she's front row, kind of third down. It's just a head. Blonde hair, blue eyes. That doll survived a fire.
You know what? I hate to say it, I can tell.
You can definitely tell. So there's another one over there. So these are the Little Miss No Name dolls. She's wearing the potato sack doll dress. She's all the way on the back row, third from the right. I don't know if you can see her very well, but she's a Little Miss No Name doll. So they were really popular. They're in like the 1920s. Wow. And they were like from like kids that would stand in like the bread lines and stuff. But this doll supposedly came from an orphanage around that time and belonged to a little girl that died of tuberculosis. Whoa. So she's pretty spooky. I like her a lot. I have another one over there. I call him Jeffrey. So he was like packaged or like promoted on eBay as a friendly beginner haunted doll. I don't think that motherfucker's friendly though. His eyes move and stuff. No way. My roommate swears he can hear the dolls talking. I do see them shifting, but I also have a large dog that lives in the house that runs by the case all the time. I think that is probably why they shift around more than anything. But I don't know. They're spooky. I will say, since I brought this other haunted doll home, my life has fallen the fuck apart. My dog died. I got really sick. A bunch of my shit broke. My bathroom light keeps going off. The fire detectors all start screaming when I brought the doll home, and I had to unplug the one in my room completely. It's like hanging from the ceiling because it goes off no matter what. And only since I brought that doll home.
But the doll's still in the bedroom?
She's still in the bedroom, yeah. Well, because that one I feel bad putting out here in like my living room with my roommate. Like,
Yeah.
So, and I try to appease her. Like, I leave her little gifts and stuff, but I can't figure out what she likes. So, because my life is still fucked up.
No.
So, I really don't think it's any of my personal decisions, and probably is this doll.
Yeah, it's because everything you're doing is
seems
green
good.
checks across the board. I think
Yes.
there's a malevolent spirit
I think.
terrorizing you.
Yes, I agree.
Man,
So.
that is fat. So one thing you said that there's one of the dolls is JFK reincarnated.
Yeah.
How did JFK end up inside the doll?
Okay, so here's the thing with like online doll sales.
Yeah.
You have to on almost every website, like Etsy, eBay, like pretty much any of the ones you're gonna go to. You have
All
to
the
put a
big doll
disclaimer.
retailers.
All of the big dog, right? They're gonna have to put a disclaimer on there that they can't actually legally say this doll is haunted, right? It's all
Okay.
make believe, it's all for fun, because people could, sue you or whatever. I guess.
Gotcha.
Like, there's no way to.
And then a second disclaimer
report,
that
like,
says the
fraud.
first disclaimer is false. This
Yeah.
doll is actually haunted.
Right. So here's the thing. So who's to say if this is actually JFK or if somebody on eBay wrote a funny description and I fell for it. But so supposedly this doll is JFK reincarnated. It's from somewhere in Kentucky is where it was shipped to me from.
Wow.
I paid $90 for this doll.
Kentucky, where JFK famously died.
Yeah, I don't think that's where he died.
No, it's not.
No. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm not much of a history buff, but I don't think that's the place.
It was in Dallas.
Dallas, right.
Suicide, if you can believe it. Suicide by
Supposedly.
political campaign.
Yeah. So I don't actually know if that doll is JFK, but I like to believe that he is, and I'm
like
punishing
a 90%
him.
chance that it is.
Yeah. So don't.
You're punishing the doll?
Yeah. I'm
In
getting
what
back at him
ways?
for JFK sins. Well, I mean,
Okay.
they're all locked in that case. That can't be a fun existence. It's
That's
like a little
true.
doll prison.
Yeah, that's
And like I
true.
move them around, and they have furniture and shit, but they can't. I worry they get bored.
Gotcha.
So.
So you got to keep them busy so their malevolent thoughts don't manifest.
Right.
as much.
You want to keep them like a piece.
Keep 'em on a task.
Yeah.
Wow, this is
Some people
fascinating.
leave like offerings for real for their dolls, like little like gifts and like moon water and like crystals, animal blood.
Whoa.
I don't do that. If
There's
any-
a big jump between
yeah.
crystals and animal blood.
Yeah,
I
right.
think.
Kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Kind of spooky. If anything, I like leave some joints in there from time to time.
Smart.
That seems to do it.
Demons, the devil's lettuce. I think there's a
Yes.
lot of symmetry between there.
Yes.
Wow.
And I would never smoke weed personally, but the dolls
course
like
not.
it.
Weed, much too mild for me.
Yeah.
So the doll that's in your room that is pulling the puppet strings and trying to ruin your life right now, does it have a name? Does it have a story? Or was it just like...
So
And why is it in the
This
bedroom?
doll
It's so close.
This is the only doll I've ever bought, like that was labeled as haunted at just a thrift store.
Okay.
So this was at Generations, which is right by Tally's.
Okay.
Over here on 11th Street in Tulsa. Beautiful cafe, beautiful thrift shop. She was labeled as haunted, so I had to have her.
Yeah.
She was in this beautiful bird cage, and at first I didn't really understand why she was in the bird cage, but she's been wired into it. It's kind of impressive. But she's a doll from Germany. Like that was where these dolls were originally manufactured. She's hand painted. It's a Hertwig doll. They're really beautiful, but she's fucked up and scary. So I haven't given her a name, and I can't find the exact model of doll that she is. Her little doll maker signature is in pretty rough shape, but she's not happy, Cody. she is not happy, and she's in the bedroom because I don't know. I want to keep her separate from everything else and kind of as like a control. To really keep. I have a camera that stays on in my bedroom,
Okay,
so I
good.
can really. It's motion sensors, so if she moves around, I'll know. But I don't know. It hasn't happened yet.
That is fascinating. It's almost like, you know how people work out their body to become stronger?
Yeah.
The act of working out hurts, but over time you develop strength. I
Yeah.
feel like you're doing that for your spirit.
Yeah, with all the scary dolls.
Yeah. It's in the moment you're taking all this damage, but you're going to become so spiritually
strong, yeah.
It's spiritual resistance training.
Yeah. Well, and I love them. They make me so happy.
Okay, good. I like that.
So
So cool. We have haunted dolls, Buttersl the clown. I'm kind of reeling. There's so many fascinating topics. This is so cool.
I love the dolls.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about is, I don't know if it's ironic or not, but would you call it an affinity for, an appreciation of, or a crush on Nicolas Cage?
It has been clinically described as as a delusional parasocial relationship with
spicy.
actor Nicolas Cage.
Sounds kind of hot.
It is not ironic. I love the man. I appreciate him. I think he is the most underrated actor of our lifetime. I think he's going to be remembered as the most prolific and important actor of an entire generation. I think he's the only one brave enough to do something new in Hollywood. He's the only one. I mean, you want to call him a nepo baby or whatever, I'm sensitive about it. But I love Nicolas Cage
too.
And I love his son Weston Cage. I've got a lot of respect for the family, and he does unfortunately have a wife that's my age that he met on the set of one of his fucking movies. But I'm really hoping that one day we're at the right place and time together, and I can make it happen.
Yeah, like romantically speaking.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
I would just love to marry Nicholas.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. Like, what's this all been about if I don't?
The nunning, the clowning.
Yeah, it's like,
what's it all been for?
It's all been for nothing, Nicolas Cage.
The sacrifices to the dolls, all for nothing.
All for nothing. All for nothing. So
I do love the merchandise. So you have this sequined pillow. You also have a blanket with
we got a
him on
blanket.
it.
I've got a small shrine to him in my bedroom.
Oh my gosh!
With most of his movies and some like stuff that I've gotten. I've got an every frame of the movie Mandy, which is super cool. It's like every frame of the movie condensed into a painting. I'll show it to you before you leave. I love it.
I would love to see that.
But yeah, no, I've got a lot of Nick merch. I've got a Rumblefish t-shirt, which was filmed right here in Tulsa. Love that. Nick Cage was once here, right here at Valkyrie Bar downtown. They filmed some of it right there. The man rocks.
That's incredible. What is your favorite of his works? Do you have a favorite?
Oh God, that's like what's your favorite, quote from the Bible if you're a Christian? No. So the thing about Nicolas Cage is I don't have like a favorite. Like, oh, that's so hard.
You
so
just
I
deeply
do
appreciate his work.
I deeply appreciate his work.
Spectrum.
My absolute favorite Nicolas Cage movie that I come back to time and time and time again is Mandy. It'll always have a very special place in my heart. It's so good.
I need to watch it.
It's a really scary horror movie. It's good though. I love it a lot. But I like a lot of his older stuff. Zandali is fantastic.
Okay.
Birdie. We don't get a lot of genuine Nick Cage. Birdie is so good and sad and heartbreaking and amazing and just the power of male fringe. A good movie.
Okay.
Check out Birdie sometime. But you also have this like kind of like new genre of like horror comedy Nick Cage. Like Mom and Dad is so good. Primal is so good. Grand Isle. A lot of these movies that were released like direct to streaming services like in the late teens. It's so good. Everything he does. But even in like shitty Nicolas Cage movies, like he's the best part of it. Like a bad movie with Nicolas Cage in it is only bad when he's not in it. In his hands, the worst scene, the worst script, the worst props, the worst acting. Like people that are giving him nothing, he's carrying it. In movies he doesn't even speak in, like Willy's Wonderland. They couldn't afford to pay him because they didn't think that Nick would agree to do the movie. But fun fact about Nick Cage, man of the people, he likes to work with first-time directors.
Whoa!
So he agreed to do this movie. Just the stipulation was they couldn't really afford to pay him to memorize lines, so they cut out all the dialogue for the janitor. He doesn't say a word the whole movie. And he still carries that fucking film. He's the best part of the movie. It's awesome. But no, yeah, so it's not ironic. I love the man. I think he's really pushing a lot of boundaries. He's really interesting too. The way he lives his life is really inspiring to me because it's crazy. It's like he's just doing things for the lore.
Yeah.
I
do know a little bit about like he spent like $10 million on a skull one time.
Yes,
like just
and the
crazy.
skull actually ended up being stolen, and he gave it back to its original home country, to a museum. It was I believe, dinosaur skull.
Unbelievable.
Yes, he also already purchased a cemetery, like in a haunted gravesite in New Orleans, which I am trying to get into that plot. It's expensive. I need an in. Somebody help me.
I do think once you and Nicholas are together, he probably will just award you a
Cody,
plot.
I'm running out of time. If we can't get together now, it's going to have to be in the afterlife. So that's my end game. But
I don't know. I think as your career flourishes, here's what I see happening. You write an incredible screenplay.
Yeah.
You kind of piece together your team. You're going to be a first-time director.
He's going to want to work with me,
I heard a rumor he likes working with first-time directors.
Hey, Nicolas Cage. Then I can show him my special called Face On, which is mostly about him.
Okay.
So, but I am kind of worried that he's not going to like it.
I think he's going to love it.
I think so.
Listen, if I know Nicholas.
If you know Nicolas Cage. So, Cody, if I can be real with you, do you remember the COVID-19 pandemic?
COVID-19. Was that during the year 2019 and 20?
No, so it was like so I guess technically it's still going on now, actively or whatever. We just pretend.
I have vague memories of it.
But there was this thing that happened where some people got sick and then they like shut everything down for a while.
Ringing a bell.
Yeah, it's ringing a bell.
That's coming back.
So we were
to
all
me.
inside, right? And I was inside. I lived at the house right next door to this one.
Oh wow.
and I was dating this guy. We lived together, and I got caught writing all these like love letters, right? Like to Nicholas.
Oh, to Nicholas.
Yeah, but like, they didn't look like they were to Nicolas Cage though. Like it looked like, because in my
looks like
brain we're really
infidelity.
close, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like all these letters, like, hey Nick, like telling him like all these like deep like things, like Brandon's such a dick, he can't finger me right, like all these things. Like, I don't know how am I gonna get like do this. Like he refuses to like So I was
Nick,
like
you
writing
know
him.
that I like the 2 middle fingers upwards. Brandon cannot figure that out.
What am I gonna do about the situation here, Nicholas?
So-
Like please, like write
oh
me
my
back,
God, that is
hit
so
me back,
good.
like don't call me, he'll get mad. Like
I've said it 40 times. You are the most interesting person I've ever met.
no psychosis. But
If Landry ever moves out, I just want to move in and observe.
okay.
Okay, so you were writing these letters.
was
Sorry, I
writing the
got us
letters,
off track.
but no, I did get caught, and it did look like I was cheating. And then I did have to, I explained to him like what was going on, which was, I was like, had this made up relationship to cope with the world being shut down.
Did
with
you
Nicolas
at any
Cage.
point, when you have to fess up to like did you at any point just, were you at any point tempted to be like, yeah, I'm cheating?
No, it would have been so much less embarrassing.
He's like, I kind of wish you were
No,
cheating.
it would have been way less humiliating. And then Nicolas Cage really became like a point of like it was awkward to like bring him up after that. And it's like, oh,
You're like,
So-
hey, do you want to go see The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent in theaters? Did you see that movie? I'm assuming you
oh,
did.
many times, yes.
I thought it was great. What did you think of it?
Oh, I love that movie.
Okay, I didn't know
Yes.
if you appreciated like the
Yeah.
satirization. I loved
so
it.
good. Yes, I love all the Easter eggs. If you're like a Nick Cage fan and you watch that movie, they did so good with like putting in like callbacks to other movies and other shots, and you can see them throughout the film. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's so
It's
cool.
so good. And Pedro Pascal, what a guy. I like that. I like that silly little guy.
He's awesome.
He's funny.
Oh, that movie inspired me to watch Paddington 2.
Yes, Paddington's a great film, and Paddington 2 is too.
I couldn't believe, because I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, it has like the best reviews of any movie I've ever seen.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, Paddington 2, on a short tangent, inspired me to, because eventually, way down the line, if I become successful at comedy, I would love to like make my own project.
That'd be amazing.
And I think what Paddington 2 does well is it's a compelling movie where the main character doesn't change.
Right.
The world around them changes
Yes.
because of them. I think that's so like the
It's so
flat
interesting,
character
yes,
arc is
yeah.
so like somebody has, because sometimes like a problem because I love movies, but
Yeah.
sometimes a problem I have when I'm watching a movie is that the main character is shown to have a flaw, and
Yeah.
of course over the movie they're gonna like learn something or whatever.
Right.
But
Ugh.
they're so unlikable
Yeah.
because of this flaw that it's like I don't even want to see their transformation.
Yeah.
Whatever good shit's gonna happen to them before the credits roll, they
Yeah.
don't deserve.
Yeah.
I'm not rooting for them.
No, they should stay and have a fucked up life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to see Paddington 2,
Yes.
Paddington is just an incredible entity.
No, yeah, they did a great. I mean,
I just love that
what a
kind of
magic
story.
trick they pulled off with that movie.
Yeah. And now Paddington goes to Puerto Rico or something like
can't
that.
wait.
It's
yeah,
coming out.
yeah,
He's going
yeah,
on an
deporting
adventure.
him. I think. Yeah,
he is getting deported.
yeah,
They had camera crews just follow him through
yeah.
the process.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So
You know, when Paddington was detained by ICE,
yeah, we all
he
remember
still
where
smiled.
we were.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
still had a smile on his face.
Right.
I heard that his deportation affected people so much that 14 ICE agents actually resigned.
That makes sense. I mean,
They-
he's
Yeah.
a life changing guy.
They were like, you know what? I feel bad. This bear changed everything.
I think I'm into this gopher. I don't know. I felt weird.
Oh, man. That is incredible. So, Nicolas Cage. Wow.
Nicolas Cage, love the guy. He's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so, because I can't tell, like, if you're joking about any of it or not. And I don't want to I don't want to joke about it and seem like I'm like
Yeah,
being rude.
insincere, no,
but
yeah.
it's funny, but it's cool.
No,
Like, I
and
don't
it
want-
is like it's like whatever. It is like funny,
A little silly,
But, like,
yeah.
I do really respect Nicolas Cage, and like
I can tell it shines through.
he is like I don't know. He is like a magic guy, and like he pulls off these amazing tricks all the time, and all of these like works of art that he does. It's incredible to watch. So I really love the man. Maybe a little bit too much, but
Better to love too much than
yeah,
not at
better
all.
to be on fire than lukewarm.
Oh my gosh, what a good quote.
Yeah, that's.
Did you make that up?
No, I think that was from like the Bible or something.
Okay. You're like, when we were at nun school, they talked about that a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. Catholic
Man.
coded.
So, if you were to actually meet or work with Nicolas Cage, would you attempt to initiate like a romantic
Okay.
vibe?
So
Do you have a scenario in
I
your
would love
head?
to. The thing is, I think it would be disingenuous because I obviously right with the celebrity, it's like I feel like I know so much about this man because I've
Gotcha.
read all these things and I've watched all these interviews and I've seen all of his movies and I feel, maybe a little bit too much like Nicolas Cage is a real person that knows and cares about me the way that I do. When in reality, he does not know that I exist. He does not know who I am. So I think if we did work together and I tried to, anything I would do would be like manipulative because obviously my end goal would be to make this man like love me at no cost. Like, like whatever it takes, Nicholas. I'd suck a dick for you. And I wouldn't do that for anyone. So I don't know. I think that I probably would. I think what I would really love to do though is if I could work with Nick, it would be like with like comedic porn. And that was like one of my big jokes throughout like the special is like, I think that's like the final frontier for comedy. And I think, and he has this movie called Between Worlds where in one of the scenes, Nicolas Cage's character is fucking a woman while reading from a book of poetry written by Nicolas Cage.
Whoa.
Like reading out loud poetry that he himself wrote while he's in character in this movie fucking this girl who is underage in the movie, by the way. Just, Between Worlds is crazy. Getting choked by Nicolas Cage is a critical plot point of that movie.
Oh.
So it was really crazy.
I might have to go watch it.
You should. One of the worst movies that's ever been produced. Love it dearly. So I think something like that would be so funny because like I could see the potential from like these other like I just think that'd be great. I wouldn't probably strike up a romantic relationship, but I would try and sweet talk my way into making some funny porn with that man.
Yeah. And then from there he would so deeply appreciate your creative vision.
Right. I think he would
might
be like, and then
pursue you.
he would pursue me. Exactly. He'd be like, I gotta learn more about this weird person and fuck her. That would be my hope.
That would be awesome.
So I don't know.
We'll do a follow-up episode
Yeah.
after you guys have fucked.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of check back in.
And I mean this with no disrespect to Nicolas Cage or his team.
I'm not sensing anything but admiration and
Good.
respect personally.
And horniness a little.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
like a respectful amount.
Yeah, a respectful level. Yeah.
And I think, as like someone of his age and he's been in the game a long time, he's like, it's nice to know I still got it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. What a guy.
Wow, this has been awesome. Oh, you mentioned your special a couple times. Do we have like a release planned like for a wider maybe later?
We should. I have a meeting about it on Sunday.
Okay. Wow.
My
all
team
right.
has been so patient and nice with me. I watched my special too many times and convinced myself that it was horrible and that I was never going to put it out and then I hated it.
Dang.
But I've been convinced otherwise now, so I am going to do something with it. But I need to get
Okay.
the ball rolling because for a minute I just got in my head and I was like, I don't want Nicholas to see this.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't mind him seeing it. So
Maybe like a private screening
Yeah.
with just you two.
Yeah, just
kinda
me and Nick,
let's
yeah.
get your
I'm gonna
thoughts
invite
on
him.
it.
So,
You should.
yeah.
You never know. Like
Yeah.
he's a very interesting guy.
he is.
He might find it fascinating that
I would hope so.
there was a tribute to him.
Yes. Yeah, like a comedy special tribute to like what would that even like? Like
Yeah.
I would be curious.
I would be as well. And for a guy that's done so many different movies, he hasn't done that.
No.
You're doing something that he hasn't done. So
Yeah, he's not brave enough to do it.
you guys you guys can learn from each other.
Yeah, right. Aw.
That would be cool. And
That would be-
that's honestly the basis of any great relationship.
I think so. Yeah.
So honestly, the way you talk about him, it's like as a man, a straight man, that's how I would hope that some woman would feel about me someday.
That's all you can hope for, right?
really-
that
it's
one day
really it.
someone will love you the way I love Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
That just means I need to produce great works.
yes.
Is what it
yeah.
means.
Prolifically. Lots of them. Yeah. Make it your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Starting with this podcast, I mean,
Yeah. Doing a
really
great job.
on the ground floor. You guys
Yeah.
are investing early. Another thing I've seen you post a little bit about on social media is your adventures behind the wheel.
Yeah.
I don't have the full story, but tell me where I'm missing some facts here. From what I've gathered from the breadcrumb trail on social media is that you either don't have a driver's license or it is kind of in limbo, and you also don't drive. Mm-hmm. You're kind of relearning how to drive, but it's something you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
And you're kind of out on it.
Yeah. So,
Very pioneer woman
very
of you.
pioneer woman of me.
Yeah. Very nun. I don't know. Do nuns drive?
Nuns do drive. Some
Okay.
of them do drive. Not all of them, but usually there's a couple in every convent that do drive, and they have access to like parish vehicles.
Okay. So
so-
only the sinful ones.
only the real like fucking materialistic, worldly nuns driving. But yeah, some of them do. So about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I I hadn't been doing comedy for very long yet, but I got in a really bad wreck on the highway.
Oh, damn.
So I was driving my Buick Lucerne, huge car, and there was a wreck up ahead, so I just stopped my car, and the truck behind me hit me going 60 miles per hour. He was texting and didn't see that traffic had stopped. So we were on like a blind turn on the highway, kind of like by where Climb Tulsa is, that big blue building on the highway going east, if you know what I mean. But it was right there. It's tore my car in half, like literally tore the car in half. And like we spun around and we hit again. And it was really scary. And I broke my glasses in that wreck.
Whoa.
But a few years before
Did
that.
you break anything else? Like, were you okay?
I had a concussion and a sprained neck, and I messed up my knee. And I got really intense, like, car anxiety. I don't like to be on the highway now.
I get that.
I walked away. My car took most of the damage. Thank God.
That's
that big
good.
car really protected me. But I walked away mostly without a scratch. But then I had to go get my license replaced. And I had been pulled over years ago in Muskogee, and they confiscated my license because I had a vision restriction, and my glasses, like I was drifting all over the place, but I like wasn't sober. They made me do a field sobriety test to prove that I wasn't, and like blow and everything. And I was sober, I just couldn't see the lines.
Okay.
So I like got in trouble. And they're like, you can't drive yourself. Like, you have to like wear like prescription glasses that match your prescription if you're driving a motor vehicle or whatever. So I never went back to the eye doctor because I don't like it when they blow that air in your eye
Oh my God.
during the test. So I don't have a license. I have a passport. I do technically. I can drive. I just don't enjoy doing it.
So you can leave the country, but you just can't get to the airport.
Yeah, I can't. I Uber a lot. I bike a lot.
Thank you, Claire.
And then my father, who I love dearly, Mark, the best dad, gave me his car because it's a standard, and we think that that's going to make me a more attentive driver.
Just more things to do.
Yeah, because you can't like text or vape or smoke weed or anything when you're driving.
Or write love letters or like anything.
Or write love letters. Or like you
Or
really got to
clown.
be like paying attention to everything and like listening and stuff. It's like really a lot.
Yeah.
So I've been avoiding driving going on 2 years.
Dang. It's really incredible.
But in a hot way.
But of course, everything you do is in a hot way.
I think in a hot way, okay?
Yeah.
I don't drive in a mysterious, sexy way. And I can. But I'm embarrassed about it.
No, you shouldn't be. It's like it's only adding to the Lacee lore.
Yeah.
It's like so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like imagine I was to describe you to somebody and I was like, okay, so she used to be a nun. She also is a clown. She doesn't drive, but it's like kind of sexy that she doesn't.
Yeah.
She has kind of a distant love affair with a very famous man.
Yeah, yeah.
I would be like, this is the most fascinating. I'm like, oh wait, but I also didn't tell you that there's a lot of evil spirits possessing
Her
the
house, yeah.
animals and dolls that she has in her home.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the most interesting person I've ever heard of existing.
Yeah, it's a handful. So.
But in a good way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because if your hands are empty, you have nothing. So
Right?
like a full hand,
Yeah.
I would say full hand is worth 2 empty bushes.
Right?
I think is that the same?
The proverbial ass, a full a full hand of proverbial ass.
Yeah.
That's the deal. Yeah.
Yeah. One full hand of ass is
It's
worth
better.
2 empty
It's
hands of
two
ass.
up the bush.
Yeah, 2 up the bush.
I think that's the saying. So
That was the direct quote from the letter when you were talking about your ex not being able to finger you right.
I was like, listen, you can't do it up the bush. What's going on?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Inappropriate.
Yeah. I totally forgot to mention at the beginning, my podcast is actually geared towards like 10 and under audience.
Oh,
we kind of no.
Okay. Don't be like me.
Yeah, I put it on YouTube Kids.
I can't monetize it, but man, those connections are great.
You know what's worth more than money? Friendship with children.
And that was Cody Troutman.
Oh my gosh, but this is a random aside about a child. So
Oh no.
at an open mic on Tuesday in Oklahoma City, literally just a few days ago, I have these important shows this weekend, one
Yeah.
of which is yours, which
Yeah.
I hope not to let anybody down at.
So excited.
And so I was like working on these bits that I really wanted to do with these shows.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you're trying new shit at an open mic and it goes bad, you're just like, it was new.
Yeah.
But it's like, these are jokes that I believe in, ashamedly. And I'm like trying to tell them I bomb so bad that even like, we've been doing it a little while now. Like the bombs don't hurt as bad. This one really hurt.
Yeah.
And the performer directly after me was, I'm not exaggerating, a literal 6-year-old girl.
Did she kill it?
She annihilated it. Like set the room on fire, standing ovation.
Hell yeah.
It was incredible. I was like,
you got upped by a 6-year-old girl.
Destroyed me. It was incredible.
I hope she sticks with it.
I hope she does too. I was like, imagine being 26 years old and being like, yeah, I'm 20 years in.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 20. God. That's the kind of experience they're looking for, though. Like, for real. Stay with it. Yeah, start now.
Because everybody's like, it takes 20 years to make it. I'm like, if I just started in preschool, I'd be so funny.
Yeah, imagine only being able to do PG material, though.
I have been trying to write like cleaner jokes because I need some. But, so
me too.
We'll try some of them.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm like, listen, this is a joke about my dick, but I have great hygiene, so technically it is clean.
It is clean. So it's just,
Does that count?
I want to talk about the clown stuff too, but Buttersl is too sexy. No one will, it's not clean. I can't talk about her. It's just by nature, you know?
Buttersl is a sex symbol.
She is. So clean
a
comedy
symbol of
is
sex education.
Yes.
Who knew learning could be so hot?
Right?
I think is what,
right?
is what we're
That's the
figuring
spirit
out.
of Buttersl.
That could be your tagline. Like,
who knew learning could be
so hot?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Come on.
Oh my gosh. What if you did like a stand-up tour at Kumon?
That'd be so funny. Like Sylvian Learning Centers. You guys come catch me this week at the Reading Express.
Guys, I'll be at the Addison Improv and the Dallas Kumon on Thursday through Sunday.
Hey guys, I'm doing the Union Public School tour district. You guys can catch me at all the elementary schools this week.
Oh, speaking of school, so my 10-year high school reunion was just a couple of months ago, which
Mine's coming up.
I cannot believe it. I thought I'd be so much more successful. It was so embarrassing to go back.
Yeah.
I had to do it. It was like a
humiliation ritual.
Humiliation ritual, yeah.
Yeah. I'm familiar with those.
The person who was putting it on, they were like, hey, we know you've been doing stand-up. Do you want to like do a set at this? And I was like, I will kill myself during the ceremony if you ask me to do this.
Yeah, no, God,
like,
that's my nightmare.
I was like, I can't. I was like, these few hundred people are the exact reason I started stand-up because I was so painfully unfunny. I was determined to become funny. Like we gotta wait for the finished product.
Man.
I can't do this.
I went to high school with 1,200 people, and the idea of doing stand-up for that group of people, it makes my skin crawl. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that would be. But luckily I got out of it. I was just like, my
stomach is gonna be bad that day.
I'm just like workshopping some new bits. It's like not the right time.
Yeah, so I can't be within 500 feet of a school, actually.
So part of my reunion, this is what I get for trying to crack one joke was we toured the school.
Yeah.
And the guy that was leading the tour, he's like, actually a lot of the layouts changed.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be funny to say, I was like, I actually know where everything is because my current girlfriend is a sophomore here. Nobody thought it was funny. And it was just like high school because somebody was like, Cody,
come on,
that's funny. I was like, it's not funny that I'm dating a 15-year-old. That's hilarious.
Also, we're not laughing at dating minors anymore. No one thinks that's funny. All right. We all saw P. Diddy go 10. Now we're all gonna act like it's not funny.
Can't do comedy anymore.
Yeah, just a bit. Jeez.
No, like when her and I are having sex, I'm doing it ironically.
It's a joke. God. That's why I don't finish.
That's why I can't stay hard, okay? It's a bit.
It's not a medical concern.
It's because I'm morally sound.
Not corrupt. Yeah, I'm good at a person.
I did try to make a joke work one time where I was trying to make a joke and say that, like, how did I phrase it? I only tried it a few times because but I said, I was like, yeah, I have erectile dysfunction and Viagra never works. Every time I take it, I just get harder around guys. So I was like trying to make it sound like I was gay and didn't know it.
Yeah.
But nobody understood.
I believe
think
in
they
that.
understood it, but nobody was on
resonated
board.
with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough sell.
It's a tough sell. I think the worst was when I had a girl and a guy come on stage with me, and live on stage I took the pill and showed my physical reaction when I was making out with each of them.
Amazing.
And I think the visual, they were like, we get it.
No one likes prop comedy.
I have been using more props lately to try to stand out. It has not been well received.
No, people hate it. Oh my
They
God.
really-
I tried to take a doll on stage once. Never again. They were not respectful.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Bummer.
Well, that evil spirit is now loosed upon their lives.
It is. Yeah. So who's laughing now?
The devil. probably.
And me.
And you. Same person?
Yeah. Yeah. Same guy. Me and the devil.
So okay, you're driving. So you driving. Is your plan to eventually start driving again, or are you just going to be like walking and hot forever?
Well, so my plan, I think I should move somewhere with public transit available to me because Tulsa doesn't have the greatest.
Yeah.
So, but it's warm again, so I can bike for now. But I am getting better at driving the transmission, the manual transmission car. So I think in like, I don't know, another like year,
Yeah.
maybe I could take it outside of my neighborhood.
There we go.
Never on a hill, but
No hills.
I could take it from here to like the dollar store across the street.
Nice.
That's a good goal.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah, but no, I think my plan is to bike. Well, I've been making it work with no car with comedy, which has been a unique challenge. But I mean,
That is
It has
incredible.
not really slowed down my ability to get booked. Like it's really not preventing me from doing any of the shows that I want to do. So, I mean, it would be more convenient sometimes to drive myself, and I wouldn't have to be as like social when I don't necessarily want to be before a show. But other than that, I mean,
That just
know.
shows if you're really good, you don't even need a car.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
People will put you
They
on
will
the
say,
show.
bring someone like into a guest spot. That's
Yeah,
happened to me so many times. Like, yeah, you can bring whoever. Just get here. I'm like, cool.
Just bring somebody who's just not an idiot.
Yeah,
If
they're like,
they
just
can-
bring someone, preferably like a man. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So,
That's awesome.
but yeah, I'll drive again one day. I think one day you'll see Lacey Rains back on the streets.
Yeah.
But for now, you guys are safe.
Back on the streets, you, metaphorically already there.
Metaphorically, physically,
soon
I
to
will be there. Yeah,
Yeah.
either on my bicycle or in a car, but
Yeah.
hopefully a car.
So you said you want to move somewhere with public transport. My goal is to get good enough at comedy, like to move to New York City and it be like a good idea.
Yeah.
Is that where you're thinking, or just like anywhere that has that kind
So
of?
my thing with New York City is I think it's a great place to be invited. You know,
Yeah.
I would go to New York City for like shows that I knew I had stuff. I couldn't ever live there. Just too many people. It stresses me out.
Okay.
I don't know. I really like Portland. I really like Chicago. I've got my
cool.
eye, I think maybe on Atlanta.
Cool.
But I don't know. There's so many places that are still central to like where you can like, you know, jump on a train and like be in another city and do stand up for the week.
I know
So-
the Chicago scene is great. I don't know much about the
Yeah.
Atlanta scene. I bet it's great.
Oh yeah,
Good
it looks like
city.
it's thriving. I mean, I've spent some time in St. Louis and Memphis and Austin and Dallas, but I want to get up to Portland this summer. I want to check it out. I think they have a great scene up there. So
If you go up there, I don't know how many people you know up there. The comic from OKC, Josh Trio.
Okay.
He did comedy in Portland for 2 years.
okay, amazing.
He
I'll
could
hit
give
him
you
up.
some spots.
Yeah.
Or let you know.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm actually blacklisted from every show. That's why.
Yeah,
moved to
that's why I had to
Oklahoma.
come
So I moved
here.
to Oklahoma to
Yeah.
do comedy.
So, but honestly, I think Oklahoma's a great place to fall in love with comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. We're really like blessed to have the stage time and the opportunities that we do. I don't know if I'd get that in another scene that was more competitive. You know.
I agree,
So-
because it's like there's enough people where a scene exists, but not so many that you like can't get on
that
stage.
you're getting lost in the shuffle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like there are a lot more men doing comedy, but I do feel fortunate, like as far as like women doing comedy, there's not a lot of us. So really we're not fighting for stage time the way that women are in other scenes from what I understand.
Gotcha.
So I really like Tulsa and Oklahoma City. I think we're really like lucky. We lucked out.
I agree. It's a great place to develop.
Yes,
It's like,
it's a great place to develop. We also just so many people come through here. It's so cool to randomly work with like all these insane people. And it's like, what? Like that's
it
great.
is. The clubs here get pretty good acts.
Yeah,
I
they get
think.
really great turnouts.
I
Yeah.
agree. Let me see. Okay, so one thing I'm trying to do is like fun like bits. So I have an improv scene we can do and a would you rather. We were kind of talking about this earlier. Would you like to try them both? I think we have 10 minutes.
Yes.
I think let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so which would you rather do first? Oh, this is a would you rather
Yeah.
before the would you
Okay.
rather do the improv first or a would you rather question?
I think the improv's going to be harder, so let's do it first. That's the one I'm most nervous about.
You're right. Okay, so the prompt, is that what it would be called?
The prompt.
The prompt that I came up with was the situation is like you're getting advice from someone
someone.
worse than you.
Okay.
So I think like kind of like we were saying earlier, I'll be just like a generic condescending male comic.
Okay.
So I won't have to act at all. I'll just be me.
Perfect.
And you be like a female comic who's better than me.
Okay.
Wow, this is just reality.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like giving you advice.
Okay. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Into the zone. Into
God, Cody, my bookings are just not what I want them to be right now. What could I be doing differently?
Oh, Lacee. Lacee. That's what they should call you. You're a sweetheart, kid. You're a sweetheart. Well, first of all, something you got to understand is it's just all about the hard work. And something I know about women, they don't work hard.
No.
So if you want to be successful in this business, you just watch what men are doing. You just start doing that. So, like when I'm on stage, you see how quiet it gets.
Yeah.
That's because they're in awe.
Okay, so it's good.
When you're at that level, then come talk to me about bookings.
Okay.
You know, like right now you're getting pity spots. Once you're getting real spots, maybe we can revisit.
Yeah. So what kind of material do you think I should be focusing on? Because talking about my pussy is no good, right?
Oh, just disgusting. Yeah, nobody wants to hear that. I would say material to focus on. Well, listen here. I think first thing you got to do is you got to understand what a joke is.
What is that?
It's clear you have no concept of what this is. You just get up there, bounce
It's
around.
like a lie.
A joke is basically like you know when men talk and people laugh. That's what it is.
Right. Okay.
And you know, it's like
I'm
when
starting to get it.
women talk and people go, "Aww." It's not what it is.
That's not a joke.
Yes,
Okay.
you just got to do.
Be a man.
Yeah. So like when men are talking, just take notes and just kind of try to convey it with like half the passion that an alpha male.
An alpha
would be.
male. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Cody, what is an alpha male?
Oh my God. I mean, you're looking at one right here. What are you? You laughed really hard at that. That did pause. That did hurt my feelings a little bit. Play. Okay.
No, that was you are, yeah.
Listen, an alpha male, virile, fertile.
Ooh, this could get on the ACT. Fertile.
Yeah, fertile.
Well endowed.
virile, well endowed.
Rich.
Extremely well endowed.
Yeah.
Like kind of embarrassingly so.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
genuine
Like too big.
inconvenience.
Yeah.
Like anytime I have to think really hard.
Yeah.
Like I know where it's pulling the blood from.
Right.
That's what
from
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's why as an alpha male, I'm still not able to have sex because I pass out to maintain an erection.
God, that's so selfless of you.
It is really. So usually I just lay down.
You are the starfish.
I just starfish.
Yeah.
I pass out.
You are the passenger princess of sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm still amazing at it.
Right.
And
You're
that's
the alpha male. That's
that's the thing.
about being well endowed.
Everyone says I'm amazing at it.
I think I understand comedy now.
Yeah. I hope this was helpful for you. So what did you take away from this? Let's
Well,
see.
okay,
I know
so-
the female brain sometimes can't.
So, yeah, sometimes it's like scrambled eggs up there. so I think
Well, scrambled eggs should be in the kitchen. So if you could
I
whip
should
some
be
of
in the
those up real
kitchen. Yeah.
quick.
Okay. I think what I learned from this conversation, Cody, is that when the men talk,
Mm-hmm.
I should take notes
Yes.
because they are funny
Yeah.
and they are alphas. And that if I want to do comedy, I should go up there and do a joke, a bit, if you will.
Yes.
Am I understand that correct? Now, what I don't want to do is go up there and kind of be like, you know, really unsure and like bitchy and like
Feminine.
feminine. I want to make sure that my hips don't look too birthy. Like, you know, I want people thinking there's no way a baby could come out of that. Like, if I understand correctly, that's what comedy is.
I mean,
Did I get it right?
listen, I'd love to have you on the secret show on Thursday.
Perfect. I'll be there.
I'd love to book
I didn't know
you
they
on
were
my
letting
show.
women in on that.
Yeah. Well, we aren't.
All right.
Usually the women are just in the green room.
Right, as they should be.
Yeah.
As servers, right?
Yeah, we just have a service. Wow. I have to stop there. We have to scene.
So, yeah.
I can't say anything like that's the most misogynistic I've
And
ever
he
been.
wasn't doing a character. Just that was really
You
good.
were recording that?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were just genuinely asking me for advice. I was trying to help.
Oh, right. I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so grateful.
Wow, that was fun. I hope you know I did. Claire, just for the record, I only meant like 80% of that.
Yeah.
So just
We're coming at you with just a little bit of misogyny, just a brief
that
dousing
was
of
fun.
it.
You're a gifted improviser. That was fun.
You too. That was really fun.
That was good. That stuff is. It is kind of fun to I mean, it's the second impression I've ever done. It's fun to like act like a character that you would never
be.
Yeah, it's like a fun.
It was so just like orienting to see you be misogynist. Like that's not how Cody ever talks to me though.
It is. It's just like I was like, okay, what did I see on Reddit this morning?
Right? Yeah. Channel that.
What were in Elon's Twitter replies?
Yeah. What's going on in Nice Boys? Let's.
Yeah. Okay, so now to wrap it up. Oh, this is gonna be literally the perfect amount of time for the episode because you have 2 shows tonight.
I have 2 shows.
Incredible. So the last thing I want to ask is a would you rather question.
Okay.
I think these could be really funny. I don't know if this one is, but would you rather have your entire search history? Wait. Okay, my own question. Would you rather have your entire search history or your entire text history leaked to the public?
How far back?
The whole thing. Not just in like a big text file. I'm talking like indexed, searchable, bullet points, video summaries, widely reported on by the mainstream media.
Okay. Oh fuck. Honestly, it would have to be my search history.
Really?
Yeah.
If texts are that bad?
Yeah. If the if the text get. I think it might be a matter of national security.
Oh, really?
Done some things I should not have done. Some comments have been made that shouldn't have been made.
So we're talking embarrassment versus prison time.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of the decision you're making.
The thing with the internet search history is that it would just be like everyone already knows I want to fuck Nick Cage. Like it's
Gotcha.
like nothing in my internet search history is gonna be as surprise. Well. No, even that I've joked about on stage. You know what I mean? Like I already do stand up. It's like that's pretty much putting my search history out there anyways, right?
That's funny.
Like basically, but the text messages, I'd never work again.
Wow. Because I was thinking about this and I was going to say my text messages I would rather get leaked.
Really?
But maybe that shows like a layer of shame.
Yeah, what are you looking up on the internet that you don't want people to see so badly, Cody?
Honestly, it's just like I just feel like I'm kind of a warmer, wholesome guy.
Yeah, you don't want to like disillusion people.
So some of the
darker searches.
Some of the pornographic searches that I've had in the past
would be surprising to people. Yeah.
A little more taboo than some might expect.
Okay.
Might have to answer some questions.
And that's what being an alpha male is all about.
Pegging, but not in a gay way.
Pegging, but I suck it for her first.
Oh, what's it called? Ovipositing.
God, I knew it.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, let me think. Have I said the text would be embarrassing? I actually. Oh, this is bad. When I thought about this question, I remember a text that I sent to my high school girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she basically was just like, she was trying to ask, like, what would I do if she broke up with me?
Yeah.
But I interpreted it as like, because she was very vague. I thought she was asking like, what do you do when I'm not around? And I just told her like how much I would miss her. Yeah. And then I thought I was being like cute. I would like smell her jacket.
Oh.
Listen to our song. And she did break up with me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And the worst part about this was my phone had died, and I was like so like insecure in the relationship,
right.
And in like high school brain that I was like, oh, I have to like still talk to her. So I told her to direct message me on Twitter, logged into Twitter on my best friend's phone, and forgot to log out. And
Amazing.
So he saw all these messages.
Oh no.
So after we broke up, he confesses to me, he's like, listen, when you messaged her on Twitter on your phone, I saw this. I wasn't going to bring it up. Now that the relationship is over, I just want to say, as your best friend, it is for the best.
Yeah.
You were clearly not in a good headspace.
Yeah.
And it's for the best that she broke up with you because you needed that.
Yeah. Painful. But true.
I'm trying to think. Is there an embarrassing text you've sent or received that you want to share? Because I do think it's funny to like. I saw the shoulder shimmy. There was one in particular that you had. Oh yeah. On the frontal cortex.
Oh yeah. I did some of my worst work last night.
I
did some of my worst work last night.
Recently.
Live. Yeah. I've definitely sent some really embarrassing texts and received some really embarrassing texts. But one of my favorite. My phone is in the. I got a message from a comedian here in town, an open micer.
Nice.
That like said he didn't have Facebook or whatever, so he got my number so we could like keep up about the cellular mic that I used to host.
Classic.
He texted me like 60 times in a row, like a bunch of weird shit. Like a bunch of weird shit, and then out of nowhere sent me like a rape joke over text. He said, "Hey, what's the deal with airplane food? Why doesn't it taste good when I'm raping my way into the Mile High Club?" That was the joke. To which I responded back a single word. I said, Jesus. And then this guy responded with, oh, let me try and squeeze Jesus into the rape joke. And like sent me another one.
He was like, good note, good note.
And then I like blocked his number.
Oh my God.
A few weeks later, I get an Instagram message request, right? And it's this account that doesn't follow me. I don't recognize the picture. And it's this guy. And he's apologizing for the Adderall-fueled text messages that he had sent me. And he just wanted me to know that he was changing his life and that he now works with troubled teens.
Okay.
That's the best series of text messages I've ever gotten.
Wow. I would say those teens are in big trouble.
They're in huge trouble. But yeah, no, if my text messages got leaked, I would look just like such a simp, you know? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Me too.
It would be bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that can't happen.
I'm trying to think, what would be more embarrassing? Like from an outside point of view, like if my text got leaked and you saw examples of me like trying to spit game and it not working,
right?
Or just me being like a total softy simp, even if it's somebody that I'm with. Like, what's more embarrassing?
I don't know. I think being a softy simp is admirable, but that's
I go pretty hard when I'm like in a relationship.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the first one would be more.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll like because I have it set on my phone where none of my old texts get deleted.
Yeah.
So sometimes there will be like a friend that I run into that's a woman, and like years ago, I'll have tried to hit on her, and I don't remember.
Right. And you see it.
This is I'm not pulling this example out of thin air. This is something that happened very recently.
Yeah.
I ran into an old friend, and she sent me a text the next day, and she was like, "Hey, it was great running into you last night."
Yeah.
I open it, and above that, it's just like me trying to ask her out 6 years ago. I'm like, oh my God.
No game.
No, horrible. Not alpha male at all.
Love that.
Terrible behavior.
Sigma.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Wow, this was great. So your text would get you in federal prison. You would have to leak the search history.
Yeah, I'd have to get the search history, and then people would know what I watch. But if you've seen me do stand up, you already know what I'm watching.
That's one of the things I admire about you. You're just you all the way.
Thank you.
I respect that a tremendous amount.
No point in being anything else.
Exactly. Maybe I'll get there one day.
But it's ruining my life.
But it's for the crap.
But it's for the crap. Yeah, it's for the bit, bro.
Yeah. Lacee, thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, thank you for having me. So much fun.
Amazing. All right, we got to cut it there. Lacee's got to go crush 2 back-to-back shows tonight.
Yes.
We'll catch you next time on the Trout Pod. See you later.
Amazing.